Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to another edition of Court Call with Ronnie Nunn. As always, I'm joined by the estimable Ronnie Nunn, who, as you may know, was a referee for 19 years, was the head of the NBA Refereeing Association for 5, and then also was the head of the director of development for NBA refs for 3 years. And now he runs NewHoopsIQ.com, which is designed to consult with NBA teams with fouling and learning what referees are looking for and not fouling. So, Ronnie, how are you doing?
Thank you very much. I'm doing fine. It's great to be with you another week, Coach.
Up first is a defensive 3-second play called on Joakim Noah when the Bulls took on the Jazz. Michael Prentice wanted to know if this was the correct call. So, Ronnie, there's a lot of confusion with the defensive 3 call. I don't think anyone really understands what it means and how it works. So walk us through this play, and if you can give us a little insight into what the rules are and how it applies here.
And Joakim is at the free throw line extended, and now he steps into the paint, and what he's looking for is his defender. And if his defender steps out of the 3-foot posted up mark, which is a little line that is on the baseline, that's when he must also get himself out of the painted area or 3-second area. So I think the problem on this play is the count is a tad too quick. And I think the official kind of lost the offensive player, zoned in on Joakim, counted his 3 seconds, but didn't realize that he had another second clearly to get out.
Now, do you think there's some confusion going on because there's a bit of a switch here? Did he get confused as to who he was guarding, or does it really not matter? It's all about position on the court where the ball is.
Well, you know, I think the switch can confuse everybody, players as well as officials. And on the switch here, it looks as if he's illegal because he doesn't go with his guy. But the bottom line is another guy comes up and makes him legal for a moment, and then he sort of deserves a new count. It's a field play. It's never a count as if you would have on a throw-in. It's a field 3, and sometimes we're short on it. If the player's along the lane line or inside the 3-foot posted up mark, which is a little mark delineated on the baseline that says if a player is outside or toward the sideline of that mark, then you must get legal within 3 seconds.
Now, legal being within arm's length, is that correct?
Within arm's length to a degree. I mean, sometimes you're not within arm's length and it's okay. If your player is in the 3-foot posted up mark, you can be anywhere in the paint. So he may not be arm's length, but it really a lot depends on the offensive player, on where he is. Once he steps out, you've got 3 seconds to get adjusted and get legal.
Next up, during the Rockets-Spurs game, Kevin McHale found himself wandering around the coach's box. So the next play we're looking at here is sort of a more of a sportsmanship play for me, because we have Kevin McHale in his box but in the way of an inbounds play. So Ronnie, from the strict letter of the law, tell us what the referee's interpretation would be of this play.
Well, this is a big play, and the key to this play is McHale legal? And the fact of the matter is he is legal because the coach's box extends from the baseline all the way up to the 28-foot mark and vice versa. So he has the ability to stand where he wishes. The problem is that on this throw-in, and I think the official recognizes it as the throw-in gets ready to happen, he wants to get hold of McHale not to get in the trajectory of a possible pass to Duncan's right. And he kind of lets go. His instincts are right there. And I think sometimes in our game, you have to use what the officials have as the elastic clause, which gives you an opportunity to think what's best. I think you used it in a term called the spirit of the game, which is great. In the spirit of the game, if you put McHale to the right of Duncan in the coach's box, it's going to deter Duncan's sense of how to make that pass down court. So I think he just would have been wise to say, look, I want you standing over here, and that's the end of that story. That's a common sense play, spirit of the rule play. Even though his box is allowed where he could stand in it, this play interferes with the spirit of the play, and I think it would have been wise to go with his instinct and put him back to the left of Duncan.
I agree, especially because the referee did make that attempt and probably just sort of said, well, I guess in the letter of the law he can stand there, and I'm sure maybe McHale said that, but it was clear he had walked across to get out of the way and then walked back in.
Yeah.
That became the problem for me, I thought, and it almost did hit him, and it was funny because did you see that Duncan would not receive the pass?
Yes, I did see that. He did not accept the pass because he didn't for one reason or the other. But at that point, it was when McHale began to go across and get in front of him. And obviously Coach Popovich recognized the scenario, and it built up a firestorm.
And in another coaching play, we move to the end of the Nets versus Lakers game, where Jason Kidd orchestrated a spill on the court. So it's rare when two coaching plays happen in the same season, probably like we're going to look at, but in the same week, we had not only McHale, but we had Kidd in Spillgate, if you will. So we have, obviously, he got caught on tape saying he hit me to one of his players, and he spilled because he ran out of timeout. So, Ronnie, what is your take as a referee on what he did here and how legal it is?
Well, you know, I think he caught everybody by surprise, and there's some history here. You know, coaches learn from other coaches just as the game evolves, and coaches are very shrewd, and they infuse ploys at times that would seemingly look normal. And I think what happened in this ploy about having his player bump into him, it gave the official a sense that maybe this was an accident. And so he took the time to make sure that the safety of the floor was cleaned up for the safety of the players. And in that during that time, obviously, I understand that Kidd had opportunity to speak to his players on something he wanted to do. But it was very, very good that it was noticed, and that the league office really jumped on Jason Kidd for that type of deceptive ploy in the game, which, again, getting back to that word spirit, that is not in the spirit of the game. I think had an official seen that this was a deception, he might have issued a technical foul or a strong warning, and then get the play to continue without any opportunity to talk about the upcoming play by any coach. It's not new. Del Harris, I recall, doing it once. I know Kevin Lockery has done it. Coaches are very shrewd around the rules, and they should be, and the officials have to be wise to it. But this is not necessarily an official's play. This isn't a league office play unless an official knew directly that this was a deceptive move.
Our next clip was suggested by Arun, and he wants clarification about the sideline inbounding rule after a timeout is called. So here's another interesting rule that not a lot of people are aware of, I don't think, which is where you can inbound the ball after you call a timeout. So Ronnie, walk us through what the rule is and what happened on this play and why they weren't able to, after the first timeout, inbound it on the sideline at the half court.
First of all, the option to move the ball to the midcourt line is only 2 minutes and under of the fourth quarter or any overtime. But if you advance the ball on a live play and take a dribble or a pass to advance that ball, as you see here with Hibbert and his guard dribbling up, he's already advanced the ball. So it takes 2 timeouts to now advance that ball. So the 1 timeout, which is normal on advancing, now needs another because you already advanced.
It could be very crucial if players don't understand that, because we've seen that before. They get the rebound even in one, it's really one step or one dribble. It's all it takes before if they don't realize it and they try and call timeout. Let's just say there's 4 seconds to go. You could lose the game because you can't get a good out-of-bounds play at the half court. Our last clip centers on Dwight, and Shaquille wants to know how James Harden was awarded 3 free throws. So this one lit up Twitter quite a bit when it happened, because the Spurs were trying to do a Dwight and stop the clock and make him shoot free throws. But Harden got a quick shot in there that he got the 3 free throws. Was this the correct call?
You know, it really is the correct call based on the human eye trying to see 2 things at once. The official in the trail position, which is with the dribbler, is looking at a potential take foul, along with, all of a sudden, what surprises him is a shooting foul. And he really can't get his eyes on which happened first. Now, of course, when we slow it down and we get an opportunity to see it, we see a take foul by Bonner against Howard that just happens split second previous to Harden getting ready to gather this ball and go into a shot. And by the way, he does get fouled by Bellinelli. I think it happened so close that the officials decided, at least that official, said to himself, look, I'm taking the more profound play, which is the 3-point foul, rather than the take foul. It wasn't about not putting Howard on the line, and it wasn't about giving Harden the 3. It was about what happened more profoundly when 2 things happened at once. Now, of course, as I said, this might be a play in the future that may require a video replay look, because that's the only way I could see it. And the other issue is that I think the interpretation now is on take fouls that it just nearly needs to be a touch, which kind of speaks to intention. Referees do not referee intention, but maybe there's an exception here, and I'm open to learning more about this. We always referee the act, regardless of what the intention is. Same thing like on flagrant fouls or take fouls. If the act steps over the border and it is a legitimate foul, or a flagrant foul, we respond to that, regardless of what the intention of the player was.
What we saw last year quite a bit was players like Kobe would just try and shoot a 75-foot shot right as they were fouling Dwight or right after to try and, I guess, let me just walk you through this. If he was in the act of shooting when they intentionally fouled Dwight, even if it's way back in the backcourt, Kobe thinks he's going to get the free throws. Is that correct?
The person who is fouled shoots the free throw. So if Kobe was fouled in the act of shooting, he would shoot the free throw. If we had a take foul here that happened during the motion of Kobe and Kobe being free for a shot, then if that ball goes in, the person that was fouled from the take foul would go to the line and shoot one.
Okay, so basically what he's trying to do is make a 70-foot shot, and if he doesn't get it, Dwight will just get his normal 2 free throws. And it's interesting because from a coaching perspective, there is a risk that if the guy doing the take foul sees that Kobe keeps doing this, he could kind of fake the call, bring his hands back, and then Kobe is left shooting a 75-foot shot that will, most likely miss, and they get the ball back. So if I were a coach, I would think that would be not a good play at all, ever, even just to try.
Officials are going to have to find ways in which to combat the play to get it right, not combat the idea or not try to undermine what a coach is doing, but to make sure they're not the guys that are holding a bag on a gray area play. And because you want to make plays as clear as you can for officials so they build a consistency, which coaches and everybody wants, to their fouling or violation calls.
Well, I think we did a lot to take all that gray area and make it a lot more black and white for people. A lot of nuanced stuff that we went over that's really important so that the fans really understand the game better. And remember, if you want us to go over a call that you see, please get on Twitter, use the hashtag #CourtCall, and please give us the date and the teams and when it happens in the game so we can keep organized with it. And we'll get back at it again next week. Thanks for joining us. And don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?
I'm in, Coach.